Christine Faith Spencer. Our topic this week is the Kosilek versus Spencer ruling. No relation. This ruling determined that trans inmates in Massachusetts have a constitutional right to receive SRS surgery if it's medically necessary. And the constitutional right is based on no cruel or unusual punishment. The question that was really being decided by the judge was, is SRS a medically necessary surgery? And from that perspective, it makes perfect sense why he came to the conclusions that he did. But from another perspective, from our perspective, from the perspective of a taxpayer, it seems like a really radical decision. And it seems radical because this judge gave to this inmate, who was guilty of murdering her wife by strangling her and cutting off 3/4 of the way through her neck, from what I understood. A very gruesome thing. And then proceeded from there to go and have a nice meal. It's appalling that this person, after doing this hideous crime, is being granted by the state free SRS, when the vast majority of law-abiding trans people can't afford SRS. Certainly not very easily. Between $20,000 and $30,000 probably for SRS. And here she is, she's getting it for free. I had one trans person in one of my support groups who said that they wouldn't even call her a her because she's a worthless human being. I kind of disagree with those types of thoughts. People are worthy of dignity and respect, no matter what crimes or horrible things they might have done. But at the same time, for the judge to grant something like this when nobody else is getting it is a huge statement. And I agree with the judge. I, being trans, did not make a choice to be trans. It's not an elective thing. At this point, maybe I don't need SRS. Maybe it's not a need for me. But for Michelle, who's the defendant in this case, or the plaintiff, I guess, because she's requesting the rights to have this SRS, she had on multiple occasions attempted to castrate herself, which is obviously very drastic and also obviously very dangerous. But she has literally nothing to do except think about how she feels about herself and her body. And after all the years that she's been there, I'm sure she's thought through what she did. At this point, as a society, we've said that we're going to lock her up and throw away the key. And so then the only question is, do they have the right? Does she get the right to get that? And the judge said yes. The medical evidence was overwhelming. What went on behind the scenes, there were people that were being fired from their jobs because they recommended the surgery, because of the political and cost implications of it. They were losing their jobs. That's pretty appalling. Really, it's a statement of transphobia. And unfortunately, the real debate here shouldn't be whether or not Michelle should get this surgery. It should be, why aren't we all able to get the surgery as part of our health insurance plans or Medicare or any state insurance? Why aren't we all? We know it's a medically necessary procedure. The medical evidence is overwhelming. Pretty much every single major medical organization has chimed in on this topic. So rather than being mad at Michelle for getting a compassionate judge and getting what we all should have, I'm mad at the system that allows us to be continuously put down and trodden upon. What do you say about that? Why is it that we need to be treated like we're less than human by so many? By people that we once called friends, or people that we were married to in some cases. It's the case for me at times. It hurts. It hurts us all. And because of that, we all suffer. So, for Michelle, you got lucky. You don't deserve what you're given. But we live in a just society where we try to do right. We try to treat people with basic human dignity. And when push comes to shove, even a judge elected by Ronald Reagan can make the right decision. This conservative, activist judge that people are going to throw a fit about, Ronald Reagan, not a liberal Democrat appointee. Enjoy. Following this, a couple pictures of my family from this last week, or things that I did. See you next week. Bye.